What's up, scholars? Welcome back to another video. Today we are diving into chapter 1115 of One Piece. I just want to say I was right. I was right. Oh my gosh, I was right. I I had a theory. I had a theory that one of the possible reasons that the world, or that, you know, the kingdom and everything passed away was because of a man-made thing, and it was sunk to the bottom of the ocean. I was right. It makes me so happy. It makes me so happy that one of my many theories actually turned out correct. So yes, I am ecstatic right now because I was right. The the kingdom that used to exist was actually a giant continent, and it sunk to the bottom of the ocean because the water meter, or the water levels, rose 200 meters because of the war, because of the ancient weapons. And I just this chapter was so good. This chapter was so good. There was not a lot of action going on in this chapter, and you know what? Frankly, I'm okay with that. We got so much good information this chapter, and I'm so excited about it. We got to see a lot of different people again. Oda has been doing such a great job. All of this is being broadcast to the world. He keeps showing us the world and their reactions to some of the things that Vegapunk is saying as it's being broadcast, and I love how he's bringing all of these characters back and showing us where they are and seeing their reaction to all of these different things. Like, we get Nojiko in this one not caring about this huge information drop, and she's just going to go see the tangerines. Like, I mean, we even see Foxy, we see the guys in Mocktown, and we see Vivi and Big Bird, which this review is going to be very scattered because I'm just so excited. But seeing Vivi shush Big Bird just gave me so much joy. It made me chuckle. I never thought I needed to see Vivi putting her hand over Big Bird's mouth, but it's kind of hilarious, and I really love it because she's like, no, shut up. We need to listen to what's going on here. Shush. I love it. I love it so much. But again, Vegapunk does not have the full story, so he doesn't know all the reasonings behind why Joy Boy was a pirate, but he also doesn't know why the war started. He doesn't know what caused the war. He just knows that there were two opposing ideologies clashing against one another between the world government and Joy Boy's crew, and that was the two opposing forces hitting against one another. That's pretty much all he knows about the cause. He doesn't know anything about why, he just knows what, which is really interesting because that just leaves so much more for us to figure out and understand why this war happened. And I have a feeling some of those answers reside with the Five Elders or Emu. They know why, but they don't want anybody else knowing why. And I'm pretty sure it's because if the why got out, the world would see the world government in a different light. And I have a feeling it would put them in a bad spot, and they don't want that to happen because they want the world to trust them. So it's gonna be so interesting to see what we get from here, because the information is not stopping. The Five Elders are in a panic because they cannot stop Vegapunk's message. They cannot figure out where the broadcast is coming from. They can't stop it. We have them destroying things. We have a sword skeleton guy slicing through the entirety of like Punk Records and just slicing it in half, making all of these people start falling out of it. He just jumps up because he's, skeleton horse guy. He can jump really far and he's huge. He just jumps up and just slashes it just clean in half, which is crazy. I think he's gonna be a really tough opponent when we have to seriously take him on. Whoever seriously takes him on, he's gonna be such a tough opponent. If I were to hazard a guess, he's gonna be one of the toughest of the Five Elders to beat. That's just the feeling that I get from seeing him in these chapters. I feel like he's gonna be one of the hardest to beat when it comes to the Five Elders. But yes, we get the information drop about the war that was going on, about the ancient weapons. We also we get that, you know, it was a continent that exists still in this world at the bottom of the sea, that it was the ancient weapons that caused them to sink so much. And that I'm skipping ahead so much, but the way this chapter ends with Vegapunk saying, in other words, the vast war around that arose during the Void Century never came to an end. This war has never ended. For 800 years, this war has persisted. It has not ended. Like he says, the ancient weapons have been waiting until they are able to move again, until they are able to be used again, which if Luffy as Joy Boy is going to be using these ancient weapons, is he going to make the world sink even further? Is there a way to reverse that so that the continents can come back up or the water level can drop down again? Or is it just these man-made spectacles are just going to make the world continue to sink and sink until something stops it? I don't know. But we keep seeing Zunisha. Zunisha popped up like 2 or 3 times in this chapter. One, he was just listening, and the other time he was like side by side with the armor guy that we keep seeing hints of. And I'm like, they were both part of Joy Boy's crew then. Like they had to be, or something. Like they were both on Joy Boy's side. And they're listening to this, and they know the reason behind the war. And they're right here with us. And it's still crazy to me to think that the technology that the kingdom had back then is so advanced that they can't replicate it still to this day. That is just bizarre to me. And I wonder if that plays into, you know, the technology of the ancient weapons and why the world government wants their hands on it, but perhaps they can't use it, or if it's a different type of technology that was, you know, singular to that kingdom, that was not accessible, but somehow maybe is on the seabed somewhere that someone can get information from, or if it's activated by a person rather than like technology itself. Like a lot of people have been theorizing that the giant is responding to Luffy. So if it's supposed to respond to like the gum gum fruit or the Nika fruit, if that, I don't know how that would work, but there's so many different possibilities now when you talk about like the technology of this kingdom that sunk to the bottom of the ocean. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Just to see how grand this becomes, because it's already on like a huge scale, and I'm just waiting to see what Oda does with this, because I mean there's so many different directions, so many possibilities that he can go with this, and I am just like waiting in anticipation for him to say like what it's gonna be. I'm so excited. I know y'all are too. Like we're all excited about this. I'm so interested in how this is going to happen, and I love at the end of the chapter we get to see Emu, and Emu looks mad. Like yes, we can only see Emu's eyes, but Emu looks mad, and there's that like subtitle like of almost like Emu's growling. Emu's so mad that this is coming to light. And it makes me wonder if Emu is going to make a move, because Emu's disappointed in the 5 elders for letting this happen and not putting a stop to it. Are we gonna see Emu move for like the first time ever? Like actually move away from the little butterfly palace that she's in? Are we actually gonna see Emu do something? Because that'd be kind of scary, but kind of awesome too. Very scary though. I don't think we're ready for Emu. But because of all this information getting leaked, because the elders are unable to locate where Vegapunk's transmission is coming from, it makes me curious if Emu is going to make a move to put a stop to this. one other thing that I really want to highlight is this conversation that Edison has with Stussy, and he's told her like everything is in place for the Straw Hats to escape. Now you can escape, and she's very reluctant to do that. And Kaku is with her as well, but she's so reluctant to leave. And then it just kind of breaks my heart whenever she says this, when she's like, I don't know what to do without Stella around anymore. Who do I live for? That just really hurts for some reason. Like, she's been this undercover agent for so long. She is a product of science. Like, she's one of the successful clones of science that they have made, and she's been living her whole life dedicating herself to Vegapunk. And now that he's gone, she feels like she has nothing left, and it's so sad because yes, she's a clone, but she's so human at the same time. Like, she's still a human, and her human features are really bleeding through here, saying, well, what do I have to live for? Like, she has a human heart and emotions, and it just makes me so sad. And the look Kaku gives her when he hears her saying this, because yes, she betrayed them, but he looks like he feels bad for her. And I wonder, because Kaku got left behind, if that's going to make any difference, if she's going to take him with her, if he's going to ask to go with her or something. I don't know, but he's been listening to all of this and seeing how this is all played out, because Lucci is who knows where at this point, and he's been seeing this all play out, and he does look like he feels sorry for her, and it's very interesting, and I want to see where that goes or how it develops, because I don't necessarily see Kaku as like a villain. He's an antagonist, but I wouldn't necessarily call him a villain per se. So it makes it for an interesting dynamic for sure. We do catch up with Bonnie a little bit in this chapter as well. The only smidgen we get of Sanji is him hitting the ground, which still doesn't let us know how my boy's doing, but at least we see him, so that gives me some reassurance. Bonnie is able to avoid the skeleton horse guy as he's attacking, and then he just leaves, because now Straw Hats are not first priority. Vegapunk is. Vegapunk's message is first priority. I think it's so cool, and that's exactly what we needed. We needed the elders to be distracted from us, from the Straw Hats, so that we can make a clean escape. We needed their attention to be elsewhere, and that's exactly what Vegapunk's message is doing. So tactically, this is working out fantastic for the Straw Hats, because now their sole focus and attention is stopping this message from being broadcast any further. So they're dedicating everything to find where this is coming from. And so that gives the Straw Hats, that gives our crew a time to get together and pretty much get on the ship and leave. That gives them a chance to escape, if they can just all get to the ship, because Jinbei is still running with Zoro, Luffy's still following the giants, and Bonnie and the others, they're still just there. So it's like we're still scattered all over the place, and like Nami and Usopp and Robin, like they're still up on the clouds. So we're all still so scattered across this island and not together, but we're slowly starting to shift together to find one another. And this is our chance to escape. This is our prime chance to escape while the elders are distracted looking for the message. If we can just get together and leave, maybe we can skirt out of here without anything horrible happening to our crew. And my favorite panel of this chapter has to be the one where it shows the ocean floor with like this structure under it and all the fish swimming by it, when Vegapunk is saying we are currently living on the pieces of a continent that existed long ago. And pieces of a continent, which means some pieces live. So it's like, how big was this continent? How many continents were there? Like, it just raises so many questions. I love that panel. It's so beautifully drawn. And then you have like the reactions of the Revolutionary Army under there. I think it's interesting that he chose the Revolutionary Army to be shown first after that. And we have Sabo very seriously thinking about this. It's just so interesting because does that mean the Revolutionary Army, after hearing this information, what is their next move going to be? I think we're going to be figuring that out soon, and I'm really excited for it. But yes, the chapter ends. Emu is mad. Vegapunk is still saying all of this stuff and is not being stopped, and Emu is getting mad. I don't know if Emu is going to do anything, and if Emu does do something, what is it going to be? But that's where we're left for this chapter. And we only have to wait a week before we get another answer. So I'm so excited. I am so pumped. This chapter was just pure adrenaline for me. Like finding out this information, having confirmation of things, and then just knowing that I was right about something just always makes me so happy. And this chapter was brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. I loved it so much, and I'm so excited to see where we go from here, because the elders are scrambling, the Straw Hats are scrambling for two very different reasons, and things are just chaotic, but they're slowly starting to shape and take form, and we're getting all this information. We still have this giant armor guy that's coming eventually, and we don't know what he's gonna do, what part he's gonna play, but he's still on the move. So it's just so exciting. I'm so ready. I'm looking forward to next week's chapter so much. But that is my review of this chapter. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. I would love to know what your thoughts are on this chapter, what you noticed, what you thought about some of the interactions or some of the things that Vegapunk said. Let me know down below. I'm just so hyped. I'm so excited about this chapter, and it just gives me a bit more faith. The positivity of this chapter overall gives me a little bit more faith of the future of this arc, like the end of the arc, because for a while there it was a lot of negativity. A lot of negativity towards like how we were going to get out. It seemed pretty hopeless. And this change of events is finally seeming to shift the tides back into our favor for the first time. So that's kind of nice. It gives us a little bit of a breather. Let me know what y'all think. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I appreciate it a lot. Other than that, be sure to keep an eye out for Thursday. I'm going to have a manga reading wrap up, so I'm going to be talking a little bit about One Piece there, Spy Family, Dr. Stone, and a few other things that I've been reading. So be sure to check that video out. It's just going to be a lot of fun. Other than that, again, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time, scholars. Bye!